everyone. This is Realtor Linda Peltz. Today we are here with Mel, and he's going to give us some advice on lending. Mel, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you're with.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for letting me join today's call. Again, my name is Mel Garcia, and I work for Supreme Lending. We are a direct lender. Our primary presence is currently in the Bay Area, but we've been in business for over 20 years. And I love working with direct lenders because I have the opportunity to really build some really great relationships with our underwriting team and our processors, which makes my process that much more easier, especially in this market. So I do want to talk to you guys about what I've experienced out here in the Bay Area and what I want to do as far as taking that experience over to the Fresno area. So obviously,
we are a hot market right now. I'm
yes,
telling you what, they got the great notion to list us as the hottest market in the country, which we were already short on homes, so that brought in a lot of the investors with cash, right? So you lenders, right, you have to figure out how to get over these cash offers. So hopefully you give us some good tips.
all right, yes, and that sounds great. Look forward to working with you guys. So obviously there's high demand and very low supply. So what we're currently seeing right now is that if we're coming across a listing, obviously we're looking at, between 10 to 20 offers on one property. So what are these
Easily,
listing?
yes.
Correct. So what are these listing agents looking at when they're looking at these offers? And this is where it's very important as a loan officer and a realtor to team up to make sure that when we are submitting our offers, they're coming in clean. Okay. We're reviewing our terms. All right. We're not making any mistakes on that contract. We're really
And we're
talking.
communicating to where we know
Exactly.
where we're both at. So
Exactly.
important. And that's where I think a lot of lenders as well as realtors go wrong is they think they're all out there alone. And it's like, no, you are a team. Start
Yes,
communicating with each other.
exactly. And we really got to coach our buyers on, what type of offer are we submitting? Even when it comes to loan contingencies, appraisal contingencies, even inspection contingencies. So if they're getting 20 offers and they see that we have all contingencies on an offer, they might just toss that one to the side and look at an offer that has no loan contingency. And we got to really prepare our buyers to submit these types of offers because there's risk to this. Okay. So one thing that I've done in my experience is that as a loan officer, I got to really make sure that I'm doing my job up front when it comes to collecting income, verifying credit score, making sure that we have proof of funds. And what I've done is I've had to remove the loan contingency so I can be more competitive with other lenders. And I would say 9 out of 10 loans or offers that we're submitting, I am having to do that. And I've had a lot of success. And I'm thankful enough that none of them have fell out of escrow because of my due diligence. So I really look forward in working with you guys in this sense. I believe coming to the table very aggressive is going to be key to our success. So
Oh,
what do you think
definitely.
about that?
Now, when you say remove loan contingencies, are you talking about, I mean, obviously, there's some documentation that needs to be submitted to you. And in order to get you to the end to where we can remove that loan contingency in all good faith and know that we're not going to be hurting that client, because right, that's both our goals, is to make sure we do what's best for that client. About how many days are you looking at? So they get a hold of usually either me or you, either way, and then I get them up to you because you're step one, and they're interested in a loan. You kind of get an idea of what they're looking for and where they're going to fit in, and then we put you say, yeah, it sounds like it will work. So I would assume, now I'm just the realtor. You tell me, they need to submit paperwork, and however long it takes them to get all that paperwork over that you request. What is your time frame from the once they submit all that paperwork to where we can literally sign off those loan contingencies? About how many days are they looking at? I mean, I can't tell them how long it's going to take them to get their paperwork over to you, but how long from the time you actually receive it to the time that we can actually legitimately sign off those loan contingencies?
Yes. So, and I will be honest with you. I'm taking my time on this. I'm not rushing into this. I'm averaging about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Okay. So
Okay.
I'd rather take the time. Okay. I'd rather extend that file to where I have everything in order. Okay. Where I'm collecting verifications of employment, I'm collecting proof of funds, any other documentation that I can see down the road that can really hurt us. So yes, I will take almost 2 weeks to make sure that I have the full file complete and almost fully underwritten, where I'm even having a second set of eyes look at my file before we
Okay.
issue a pre-approval letter, because it's so
That's
important.
great to hear. Yeah. I want to make sure, being on the realtor side, that because I'm the one that, I'm the face out there, and I'm the name on it, and I sure don't want to be. I want to make sure my clients are represented well, and so that's good to know that there's some due diligence behind the scene, because I'm kind of the face of the team once we get right into the battle out there in that war zone out there trying to get a hold of these homes. And I want to make sure that all my team is covered, and make sure that my client is going to have due diligence done, and we are good to go, and I can go in with all certainty and say yes, there will be no loan problems. And that's
Exactly.
where these loan contingencies come in, and that's what we're having to do in today's market in order to get over these cash offers, because not only does it remove the loan contingencies, but you just remove that 2 weeks that it would have normally took you in a normal market. So we just now shortened our close of escrow from, a typical 30 to 45 down to about probably 10, 15 days, 20 days tops. Whereas most cash offers will come in at 10 days. So when
Exactly.
it, when that seller looks at that and says, okay, they've offered me more, and it's only a 5-day difference in close, or a whatever it is, 10-day difference in close, and we've signed off on loan contingency, so we know there's no problem there. Right now we're having to sign off on appraisal contingencies. So you know they know they're going to get that amount of money, so we stand a better chance of getting that loan approved over those cash offers coming in. So that's so valuable to all these clients out there. So that's very appreciated, because I'm not sure some of our lenders has quite figured it out. I know they're still trying to come in with pre-qual letters.
Right. Yeah.
No. That basically means you've talked to somebody, they said, yeah, it should work. No, we need you fully underwritten in order to get that true pre-approval, and you will probably, I would imagine, say right on there, fully underwritten.
Correct. And I mean, there's another process that I can also take, and that's called a TBD file, where I can even send the file straight to underwriting before we even get into contract, or before we even start submitting offers. That way we know it's fully underwritten, fully approved. Now all we got to do is have the home approved. Okay.
Perfect. That's good to hear. I'm glad. And you're working primarily in the Bay Area now, but you're moving down to Fresno, is what you're kind of been mentioning to me.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that.
I'm born and raised in Fresno, so I know the market really well. But 2 years ago, I decided to bring my license over to the Bay Area. Obviously, I wanted the experience and the exposure. And now that that I'm out here and my business is established, I've been able to grow my business to where I'm funding between 2 to 2.5 million in volume. So I'm at the position where I can now hire an employee underneath me who can assist me with back office work while I'm out meeting new realtors, establishing myself, reestablishing myself in Fresno, building new relationships, and obviously the experience that I've learned here, I can take that to another market. And I believe there's going to be a lot of potential in Fresno. Even when I'm dealing with my Bay Area buyers, they're always asking about that market.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why they
So
listed us as the hottest market, darling.
yeah.
Right. We
So,
do have a tremendous amount of offer. Went from probably even uh, representing sellers evenly, to buyers. But right now, I help predominantly buyers. We're definitely leaning that way. I'd say probably 80% of my transactions are representation of buyers versus sellers, whereas in a different market, it's usually 50-50.
yeah.
So represent just as many. So that's great to hear. We're going to have another lender in town, and then you're going to establish connections with all our appraisers and different things. That's where I know a lot of lenders are running into problems is, just getting a timely appraisal. We may be able to close it on the lending side in 10-15 days, but trying to find a darn appraiser is like pulling teeth. So
Yes. We work with my AMC. So they're the panel that we deal with. When I don't really get involved with the back office when it comes to appraisal. So if I do see a concern, I directly go to my manager, and then he'll make sure to address it. Okay. So
perfect.
that's the another way or another reason why I love Supreme Lending is because I have the support, okay, from my direct manager to our area and regional manager. So, and
You
that
have a
way,
lot of support. That's great.
yes, that way I can do what I do best, and that's sales. You know,
Mhm.
I'm a salesperson. I'm not an operations person. My job is to strictly build relationships, with buyers agents, and even listing agents. Okay. So that's really important with my job.
Definitely, definitely. Well, it was really good hearing from you. I love seeing all the new things that's coming in. You have any cool programs to maybe help our sellers, inspire them to want to sell so that we can have their house to sell to somebody else? I
Right.
tell you, that's been a hard market right there. It's like because they're caught between both worlds, right? The sell side and the buy side, which is two very different processes, but it's like they still have to keep a roof over their head. So, got any cool programs out there to maybe help one of them?
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm looking in those areas, obviously we have a lot of rural area. So already today I'm looking into USDA loans. We do have a great down payment assistance program, which is called GSFA Platinum. Okay, and we see a lot of jumbo out here, but you might come across some of those jumbo loans in the Fresno market too. So we're coming back to 10% down with some investors. With COVID, they were requiring 20% down. So some of those guidelines are changing. Um, FHA is another great program out there in Fresno. So we can definitely help them even when they're looking at 2-unit apartment complexes. Okay. So we really got to have the variety of options so we can be more competitive and more aggressive.
Definitely, definitely. Well, that's great to know. Well, I think we gave them a good oversight of kind of the lending market that's happening here in Fresno. I will go ahead and put your contact information down below for all our viewers, and as well as then in the articles that we're going to be writing. So it was great meeting you, Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll go ahead and maybe call it a day.
Okay. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.